Yo, what up gang, Blue Moon here, bringing you gamers the For Honor slash Mordhau crossover cosplay videos thingy. Timestamps are in the description. You also find in the description the free duel videos I did with the Lawbringer, the Raider, and the Warlord cosplay. In this video I'll be showing not only what the cosplay looks like and how to make it, but also how viable are the builds overall. Hope you guys enjoy it. So beginning with Lawbringer, you're using the poleaxe, which is one of the worst weapons in the game in my opinion. Let me actually show you the stats. To the head you need 3 hits, XD. With the slash you actually need, with the thrust you actually need 2 only. But yeah, it's a very trashy weapon. It doesn't just choose shot level 3. It doesn't just choose shot level 3 helmet, which makes it extremely cringy. And I hate it for that, and that's about it, really. It's kind of a shitty weapon overall, because the range is being bad. It's really bad. The damage is pretty bad. And because you're using level 3 armor overall, and using the poleaxe, you have no points for any perks. So overall, this build is pretty trash, but you look super sexy. Look at this boy. This is the most ambitious cosplay you can have from For Honor, because you need to be level 30, which is about 50 plus hours in the game if you're playing casually. You need so much gold, each individual part costs so much, but you look pretty much the same as Lawbringer. A lot of people would actually buy some cooler hands, because the crude gauntlets, the ones that I'm using, they are only 800 gold, and you can unlock them straight away when you have level 0, which is kind of weird because the rest of the stuff is really expensive. Well, the truth is, that is exactly the gloves that Lawbringer has. Let me just zoom in and show you guys. It's the exact same gloves. That's literally the only thing that is exactly the same to Lawbringer, besides the helmet, is the gloves. Now you can actually see his face. I actually customized my character to look as Holden Cross. I actually posted this on Reddit. It got a lot of upvotes, and people are telling me, yo, he's not thick enough. Is he thick enough now? Look, I'm pretty sure he's thick enough now. You can't make the head any bigger, which is kind of cringy. I would like to make my head bigger, so actually look more like Holden Cross, because he has a big ass head.
Bruh, look at this dude.
Moving on to the next knight, the Warden. I should have started with Warden. He's the Vanguard. Whatever. Lawbringer is more cool. So the problem with Warden is the fact that there isn't any chest piece that looks like Warden, nor is there any waist. Because the thing is, he has chainmail on the front, and then he has the long skirt. So he has chainmail in here, and then he has a long skirt. Yeah, it doesn't look that good, does it? This way. And also for the chest, you'll see a ton of people wear the chainmail coat. No, wait, the chainmail tabard. And I mean, it kind of looks like Warden, especially in the chest area, because it has this thing where you can put the symbol. It looks like Warden, but everything else doesn't. The scale mail, Warden doesn't wear scale mail. The skirt, it looks nothing like the Warden default one. So it's kind of trash, to be honest. There isn't any specific chest piece that I can say, yo, that's Warden. Nor is there any skirt. But it's the closest I could do with the draped cuirass. And it looks pretty realistic, and also with the legs it looks pretty realistic. But moving on, this build is actually pretty viable because you're using the long sword, which is one of the most versatile weapons. Funny because the poleaxe is in the game. You can Mordhau grip it, which makes it really good against armor. Let me actually show you guys. So if you go into alt mode, you deal really good damage. You choose shot any type of head, although with the normal grip you don't. Super dead if you actually hit them in the body. The thrust is gross, obviously, but you can then just finish off people with the slash. It's really good weapon overall. You can end people rightly by throwing the pommel. So overall, it's a pretty decent build. And because you're using free chew 5, you can then have perks. Flesh one and so second one. The second one is a really good perk. I really like it for duels, for example. But you get the idea. It's pretty decent build overall for any mode. It's like Warden. He's decent. That's about it. He's decent. For the overall body, I made him kind of fat, really strong because he has big shoulders. He has to be to shoulder bash people, and I'm kind of skinny because he's not really that small or that big overall. So this is my Warden. It looks pretty good. Okay, moving on to Black Prior. You can't make Conqueror, you can't make Peacekeeper, you can't make Gladiator, you can't make Centurion. I think all the reasons are obvious. Problem with the customization in this game is that in For Honor there's a lot of cloth chest pieces with leather and all that crap, while in this game there's barely any good looking ones that look like as good as in For Honor. So the game needs a lot more chest pieces, needs a lot more armor overall. It's a small team, so obviously that's gonna lack. But overall, this is the best I could do with Blackbriar. The only thing you can change is going with the worker's hood. This way you look even more like Blackbriar. You paint it black, you make your character look like Blackbriar, and there you go, you look like Blackbriar. The problem with this build, if you do that, is that you'll have a level 1 helmet, which is awful. So I actually use this Clapvisia Italian because it's level 3. It looks very edgy. It looks like a Blackbriar would use it. And that's about it. I think it's the closest I could get for the torso. That's literally it. You can try to go with the... Let me see. Like, there's no good ones. You could try to go with the Gambitson coat, but I don't believe the Gambitson coat allows you to use any of the arm pieces that I'm using, so it's pretty cringe. Also for the legs, he kind of uses chainmail. I have the screenshot over here to show you that he uses chainmail. I don't know how to make with the legs. I'm using the Traveler boots. Those are the best looking boots in my opinion. And yeah, I'm using the Bastard Sword, so overall this build is pretty decent. The Bastard Sword is a really good secondary. The Kite Shield is really good. The problem with this build is that in 1v1s you'll be kind of bad unless you are like a god. Because shields now are kind of bad. Because you're using really high heal armor, you can't really get any good perks. So overall, decent build. And this is as much as I could get to a Blackbriar. Alright, I'm really excited to show you guys this one. The Pikeman! Yo! You can actually make the Viking version as well. The problem with the Viking version is that it's extremely expensive. I'll show you in the end. So this is the Knight version. I made him green, so I don't have a team color differentiated yet. But this is the closest I could get. There aren't any real chest pieces that look like the ones he uses. The plate lamella croisades, I don't speak French. That one is the closest it looks with all the plating, because he also has plating. The problem with the 400 version is that it's not metal plates. The legs, you can have these ones, the Wanderer's pants. These are the closest looking ones to the actual pants they use. It still doesn't look as similar, and I'd rather use the Hunter's Hosen because they not only do they look kind of similar, they actually are level 1, so I don't get beamed super easily. And the really good part about this build is that it is competitively viable. Not only are you using the short spear and the kite shield, I actually had to buy the short spear for this. I went 36 levels until I bought the short spear, and I'm still cringing. I haven't bought the rapier yet. I'm not a little bitch. I haven't bought the rapier, as you can see. But I actually had to buy the short spear just to show you guys this build. You can actually get the dodge perk with this build, which makes it really good. You can back dodge out of kicks and then thrust people. It's a really bitch move, and it's a really try-hard build, and it actually is viable. You can actually destroy people with the pikeman in this game. As for the helmet, this is the closest looking one I could get, and also for this lower part, they actually have cloth in the game and to cover their mouth and instead of chainmail, but that doesn't exist in this game, and also the helmet looks kind of different. Alright, let's move on to the Raider build. The only thing that I kind of want to talk about is the legs, because you can't really see it with the Nordic skirt, and this is as close as I could get to a Raider. You can't get leather protection for the shoulders if you are naked. As you can see, the shoulders are just these things. It's very little, and for the arms you can only get the bracers, so you can't really customize them like you would with Raider. But overall, this is as close as you can get. It looks pretty good. You can also go with this helmet instead, the Spaghelm stripped. This one actually kind of looks like a Raider helmet too. If you want to go more simple and you don't have as much money, because this one costs 5,000 and you need level 30, I believe, you can go with the Viking helmet. There you go, you look more like Raider. You can also just ditch the Eventile and just go with like this, for example, the strap open, and then actually look like Raider. Although I do like going with the Eventile because he also has the set like this, and it looks pretty good in my opinion. This build is extremely competitively viable. The only thing you want to change if you want to go competitive with this build is ditch the legs, so pants or baggy pants, doesn't really matter. And for the torso, actually equip a level 2 torso, for example this one. And now you're actually competitively viable because you can consistently backdodge other people, and this weapon, the battle axe, the thrust attack is actually really good. The thrust animation is very subtle, it's hard to notice, and it's really quick. And because you're using second wind, you always recover stamina every time you hit the opponent, and it happens really frequently. I have a video of me playing in duels with this build without actually having a torso, which makes it even more difficult. But because you're always hitting people with the thrust, you can get stamina really quickly, and every time you hit them, they lose stamina. Overall, you'll just leave people out of stamina a lot. I had a lot of duels where the opponent was just panting the whole time I was fighting them, and then I just have to spam attacks until until I disarm them. It's a very competitively viable build, and it looks really good. I mean, this is my customization for the face. It's not like you'll actually see it, but yeah, I like this build. It's really competitively viable. Moving on to the Warlord build. I had a lot of people tell me in the Reddit and also on my video, why am I using the falchion? Here's the thing. The reason why I like the falchion more with the skin and instead of the, the arming sword with the Viking skin, although this actually looks more like the normal skin for the Warlord weapon, the falchion is really strong actually. Like it is really good. Surprisingly really good. So as you can see, one shots to no helmet, it two shots normal helmets, it two shots to the body in level 1s. The damage is really good, bros. Again, there aren't any good looking chest pieces that look leather. They have leather or they have wood like in For Honor, so this is as close as I could get with the draped cuirass. Although it is plate, you can see, and it's not Viking, it's the closest I could get, guys. So I like this build. The only problem is that you actually use the tar shield. The tar shield works the same as the buckler, but basically this shield you can only hold it for a little bit, like a normal parry. You can't hold the shield up. You can only just do a knock on normal parry. The only benefit from using this shield is that if you run out of stamina, if people hit you, and you block, you don't lose your weapon, you lose your shield. So then you have 30 stamina or 35, I believe, after you get disarmed, and you can still use your weapon and get kills with it. It's really decent. This build is competitively viable. It's very easy to be turtley with this build, and people for some reason think this shield works as a normal shield, so they'll try to kick you, use that to your advantage, and actually hit them before they kick you. And because you have so much space, you can actually go with Bloodlust as well. So in team modes, it's a really good build, especially in skirmish. For the legs, this is the only thing. The legs, you should actually use the baggy pants. These are the ones that look the most like Warlords, but then you'd have the level 0 pants, which is terrible. So I actually use the Hunter's Hosen. Alright, moving on to the last Viking character besides the Pikeman, Highlander. This build is not competitively viable at all. You will have no helmet, you have no legs, you're wearing shorts, and you'll be wearing a level 2 plate torso. Level 2 torsos are the worst, bros. You get shoe shot by most weapons. It's terrible. You really shouldn't actually use level 2 armor, but it's the closest I could get because there isn't any one that looks the same, because, well, he uses a kilt and he uses a lot of cloth on his chest, the Highlander. There isn't any of that stuff in this game. This is the closest I could get. The bear pelt for the shoulders is the best thing I could get. So you could also go with the wolf chain, although it doesn't look as badass as the bear pelt. So overall, pretty fun build, just for the looks. Other than that, also the feet. Yeah, I forgot. The feet, you should actually go with the fur boots. That's the closest you could get to a Highlander as well. With the fur boot, but it just costs too much. I'm not going to waste money on that. Real seriously. The only benefit about this build is I can have a lot of perks. That's about it. The Claymore actually looks very similar. The Greatsword is a kind of a trashy weapon. You need 3 hits to kill people. It's not that amazing, as you can see. Like to the head, you can choose shot heads, which is great. With the thrust, you can choose shot, which is very cringe. But as you can see, the thrust can choose shot level 2 armor. That's why you don't want to go level 2 armor. Thrusts are super strong against level 2 armor. Other than that, trash build. This is his face. Kind of looks the same. Can't really get him more looking hair. Also the body, I made him obviously the strongest and really fat. Well, you can actually make the Viking, you can actually make the Footman as well. which is cool, I guess. I don't know. You can actually make them. You basically just use the arming sword, for example. So if you want to make it perfect, you would go with the tunic. And there would be your Viking minion. There you go. Then you'd have the Viking spearman. I know, guys. It's kind of cringe. It's kind of cringe. But there you go, guys. That's all of them. I'm going to delete this one because that's crap. So I'm not going to show you guys the other builds I've made, obviously, because that's for a future video when I have enough characters. I'll show you my fashion. I also wanted to make one for For Honor, a fashion video for For Honor. The problem is there's not enough armor, and I haven't played For Honor since the new season came out, and I got rep 70 with Lawbringer, which was in the first week. So I actually haven't played any For Honor whatsoever. It's kind of hard for me to make a video on For Honor. I'm sorry, guys. But I'll be working on it. I'll be taking a whole week break now because I'm so tired. I made 3 videos in 3 days. It was nuts, guys. A lot of footage, a lot of builds, a lot of crap. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll obviously keep making Mordhau content, just not for a while, guys. I'm kind of tired. If you have any like suggestions for like a cosplay, I could try it. There's this guy that I saw that actually was playing the Elite Knight from Dark Souls, and I have him on my Raidal Duel compilation. Like, that guy is a fucking genius. Like, he'll make the character look exactly like the Elite Knight from Dark Souls. It was like epic. When I saw it, I was like, damn, this guy knows stuff. Like, that is really awesome. So in the future, I may consider making other cosplays. Right now, I'm a chill, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. See you on the next video, probably next week. I'll be taking a week's break. Bye, guys.